Good morning, my people. Today I thought, let me take you through my morning routine that I've been doing for a while and that really works for me. And I feel like this is like the only morning routine that actually works for me. Good morning! It's 8:30. No, let's wake up. Well, the first thing that I do while I'm on my bed is to open the curtain so that I get sunlight and and actually wake up. Can you see that? It's so bright. This itself is a workout, I swear to God. I wanna sleep. After I wake up, I straight go to the bathroom and I weight myself every single day. That's actually really important. And the scale that I use is this Withings scale. The reason why I do this is because so that I can track with my weight and also my body fat percentage. And the great thing about the Withings is that it kind of like connects with your phone and it has an app. And it shows the last 7-day average of your weight and also body fat percentage. And you also get like a notification of like either you're gaining fat or like it's like you're gaining muscle, you're losing weight or something like that. Basically gives you an insight of how your body is changing. And I feel like it's really good because most of the time, you know, when you hop on the scale, you think like, oh my god, I gained weight today. But it's not like that. You gotta like look at the weight, a weekly average. But if you're like doing it on yourself, it could be like, you know, I'm lazy, so I don't do that. But if the app is doing for me and I can see my weight and body fat fluctuations, then that's a good thing. Especially because I like lift, you know, directly looking at the body weight is not that helpful for me. I gotta look at the body fat percentage. So let me weight myself. How I weight myself is I first pee. And then I weight myself completely naked. Okay, so it just seemed like I'm losing body fat, which is a good thing. And I'm currently around like 25.5% body fat. I used to be at 19 to 21-ish, I think, around like March, April, that time. Like when I was most lean and muscle jacked. Not jacked, I would say I was most lean. And I have like a muscle, but probably I have more muscle now. I just also have a fat right now. I'm covering that basically. But what I want to get at is I want to get it at around 22-ish. Because I feel like 19 to 20 was actually quite hard to sustain. Like I had to really watch out for what I was eating. And I was kind of trying to make sure that I get my weightlifting sessions done as well as my cardio done. So it requires a lot of discipline. And even though I think it looks good, it's just quite difficult. So, and I know like what my body looks like in each fat percentage. And now I want like 22% is a good range, like where I am looking like I work out consistently, but at the same time it's not that hard to sustain for me personally. Some people find this weird, but even if I'm staying at home, I like to put on some perfume every single day because I like perfumes a lot. And today I feel like this is Amouage Sunshine. Amouage is a perfume brand from Oman, and actually I think the royal family, maybe even the king of Oman, kind of asked to create a perfume brand to represent Oman. And it's a luxury, kind of like a niche perfume brand, and the depth of like their perfumes are so good. that when I went to their store, I just bought 2, even though it's like expensive as hell. But I think it's worth every single penny that you will spend because it lasts forever. It smells so good. It smells so different than any other perfume brands out there. And this one, the Amouage Sunshine, is literally how I would describe sunshine. It's like full of energy, but it's not like, it's kind of like sweet, and it's just like makes you feel positive. And that's how I feel today. So I applied this one. After doing my skincare, it's time for breakfast. To reduce the decision fatigue, I basically listed down the food that I can cook. So for breakfast, we have 4 options. And today, I feel like I'm gonna go with yogurt, granola, and chia seeds. Okay, so I'm going to take my chia seeds. 1 tablespoon is usually how much I eat. And then I'm going to add water so that this will kind of absorb the water, and it kind of like gets like a jelly consistency, and it's really nice when you add that to the yogurt because it kind of feels like it's a pudding. I think it's like what they call, it's like a chia pudding, I guess. So you add a little bit of water and then you mix this so that the chia absorbs it. This is like how I like to eat it, and it's really good for your health, it's good for your digestion, it's good for your gut health. And I'm just gonna leave it like that so that it will soak up water. Meanwhile, you will need to figure out this mess. So usually, you know, at night before I go to bed, I have little to zero self-control. So I do clean the dishes in the morning. I basically rinse them and put into the dishwasher. But that's just something that I do in the morning, and I just realized it works for me better that way. No matter what I eat for my breakfast, I always have a cup of Turkish coffee. It's one of my favorite, actually, types of coffee. It's not the coffee bean, but it's about how we brew it, basically. I like it so much that I literally bought a Turkish coffee machine from Turkey, and I brought it. And let me show you how I'm gonna make it. So first, you get yourself a Turkish coffee. It's like grinded for Turkish coffee, basically. I have various Turkish coffee like brands in my house because I like trying them out. And then I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons into it, and then you put it. That's it. And it's like now making my coffee. You can also make it at home without the machine with cezve, what we call. But I think it's a little difficult to get the taste right. But with a coffee machine, you know, Turkish coffee machine, you get a good Turkish coffee every single freaking time, super easily. Okay, we should have probably had like more bubbles on top of it, but this will do its thing, it's fine. Another thing that I drink in the morning is this kombucha powder combined with my creatine. I take it every day, both of them, so that I won't forget. I go to South Korea sometimes 3 times per year. You know, every time I go to Japan, I also go to South Korea. And I just like sold this thing in Lotte Mart. You know, actually, like, my mom bought it And it's so good. I'm not sponsored or anything. It just tastes good. It has vitamin C in it. It has like kombucha, things like that. What else? Yeah, it just basically has a lot of probiotics in it. And I love this. Like, this has really helped with my digestion overall. So I'm gonna definitely buy this again. If you're a Korean, you gotta get this, man. This is so good. My creatine mix. I'm gonna add ice in it. I know, like in Chinese medicine, you know, everything that's like cold that you put in your body is basically not good. And I think in Chinese medicine, they think that it causes like menstrual cramps and headaches and things like that. And I feel like that might be true because I always drink water ice cold and I always suffer from my menstrual cramps. So maybe I should listen to my Chinese friends and stop doing this. But like, cold water tastes so good. Tastes so good. I always like to eat my breakfast at my balcony because I can get sunlight and that just resets your circadian rhythm and makes you more awake overall without stimulating yourself, like with a tons of coffee. I mean, this is a small portion of coffee, so I think it's fine. But oh damn. Yeah, one thing I like about Dubai is that it's always sunny. So it's like, I'm much less likely to get depressed here. Good morning. While I'm eating my breakfast, I log everything I eat to make sure I'm hitting my proteins. And because I'm trying to lose body fat right now and I'm kind of like cutting, I try to make sure that I'm not cutting intensely. So yes, I am looking for a caloric deficit, but I'm not trying to go super hard because I want to kind of transform my body in 3 to 6 months and I'm not rushing. So I'm just taking a slow approach. So I always kind of like look for my calories and also my proteins, and I also make sure that I get micronutrients. Like, I look at the vitamins and minerals that I also get, and I also look at, like, you know, iron and magnesium and vitamin D and etc. too. Because I just realized that I like certain type of food and I kind of always lack magnesium, vitamin D and iron. So I kind of make sure to look at that, try to get that like from food as much as I can, and if I can't get it, I take a supplement. So by doing that, you know, not like obsessing with calories, but trying to maintain my health is the main focus when it comes to tracking my calories. And it just helped me so much. You know, people say like intuitively eating, etc., but like with my ADHD ass, I don't have intuition. I'm just like running on impulsivity. What are you talking about? Now it's time for us to get some admin work done, which means I basically start my day by going through all my social media platforms and also like Instagram DMs, iMessage, WhatsApp, every single messaging app that I use to reply to people, because I get a lot of messages every single day from my friends, from people I know, from the people that I work with. So I just need to take like a block to reply to everyone. There's one thing that I recognized in the past is that like when I don't do this, it's just the messages kind of like build up over the time and I get overwhelmed and I then end up replying to no one. And also the first thing that I do is that I go to my YouTube community. I haven't announced this on my main channel yet actually, but I have started a YouTube community where you get access to a lifetime course, and it's a 12-month membership where we have monthly Q&As for the light package that you can ask me questions and you can get feedback about your YouTube strategy, YouTube videos, etc. And for the pro package, you get like 4 one-on-one sessions with me that you can book anytime in the next 12 months basically. So I go to the community and see whether any of my students have messaged me, asked any questions, whether they're asking for any feedback, and I reply them. That is the first thing that I do. And then the second thing that I do is that I go through my Slack, which is the platform that I use to communicate with my team and the people that I work with. You know, I talk with my editors from there, and I also talk with my brand partnership manager there. And I also talk with Tommy, who is helping me with like marketing and copywriting and etc. So I just like check Slack. And then I go to WhatsApp, I check all the messages that I got from various people, various friends, and then iMessage, and then Instagram DMs. This is just like a daily flow that I have. And just having this blog in the morning actually made me so much less like overwhelmed, if that makes sense. You know, if you're getting a lot of messages, you probably can relate to this, like where you reply to people. The faster you reply, the more messages and the more emails basically you start to get. So it's kind of like quite necessary to have a block of time where you reply to everyone, because it also means that, you know, if that's not the time of the day, then you're not going to reply, and it just gives so much like clarity and so much peace, in my opinion. Like, I personally really love this approach, because otherwise I just don't reply to anyone and I ghost people for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I feel bad about myself, and it's not good. I don't want to feel bad about myself, neither I don't want to disrespect people unintentionally. So it's been working very well for me. Highly recommend if you're struggling to reply to everyone. It literally took me more than an hour to go through all the messages and old emails that I have. Sometimes like it makes me really overwhelmed. And let me show you like a glimpse of my calendar. Isn't it crazy? So now that I finished replying to everyone, what I do every morning is that I go for a morning run. Not morning run, morning walk. What am I talking about? And basically, actually, it's not even morning anymore because it took me such a long time to reply to everyone. But I just go outside and get some sunlight, and meanwhile, I call my mom. I go for a walk every day, about like 1 to 2 times per day, because like I'm sitting all day here, so I'm quite like sedentary, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the steps in. And because I have a really good relationship with my family overall, so I call everyone. You know, I call my grandma every day, I call my mom every day, and I chat with my friends. I call them too. So, you know, to make things effective and be also healthy, but also maintain my social relationships, what I do is that I call everyone when I'm on a walk. Like, I'm not a chatty girl. Like, I'm not a text person. I hate text messages. It's just the conversation is shallow, and like you can't do anything while you're texting other than maybe walking, but that's also dangerous. So I like to call everyone and I go for a walk. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone, at 1 stone, whatever you call it. It's super sunny outside. I'm excited to go for a walk. Before I go for my morning walk and talk with my mom, I'd turn this thing on. This basically, it vacuums and it also mops, and it cleans its mop automatically on its own, and it also dries its own mop. All you need to do is really just put water and then also take out the dirty water. It has been a game changer for me because I freaking hate cleaning. I just freaking hate all the housework. So it's very convenient that there are like tools that allows you to, you know, just automatically does that. You can also set like a schedule so that you don't have to worry about when it's going to clean every day and whether you forgot to turn it on. But because like my schedule fluctuates, and even though I have the same routine, some days it takes longer for me to get that done. Some days it's just like I'm like more faster, more energetic. I just like set it manually. Also sorry for my ugly red socks, but like You know, when I'm just walking around my neighborhood, the last thing that I can care is probably how I look. I sometimes come across you guys and I look ugly as fuck. Calling her. So, I don't know, maybe because I grew up in Istanbul, but like seeing sea or some sort of a water just makes me feel so calm, and it just takes all my overwhelming thoughts and feelings away from my head. And I know it has effect for like most people, but it's more like if I don't see sea or like a water like this for a long time, I just feel so stuck in the city. And one of the reasons like why I decided to move here in Dubai is because of this like view. I think it's just a necessity for me personally, and I love it here. I came back from my walk, and now I'm just gonna make myself a cup of another Turkish coffee, and I'm gonna grab a date, and then I'm just gonna start my whole day like actual working, like deep work sessions. And that's basically how I spend my mornings in Dubai. What do you think? I don't know, this just like morning walk thing has been working for me in a really good way, especially because I can also call my mom and talk with her in the morning. That just like energizes me, and this flow is probably the only morning routine that worked for me. It's more like how I spend the first kind of like quarter of my day, instead of like maybe a morning routine, like a traditional morning routine. But let me know, you guys. And if you're struggling with depression, I highly recommend going for a morning walk. Even if it's like cloudy or maybe rainy, it's still like good to go outside in the morning and get a good walk. And thank you for watching, and see you soon.